brother. Now that is glorious, am I right? I mean, now in every single one of my videos, there will be this crazy bagel Jonathan, and then also this poster. Don't worry, the Mario poster is in good hands. I mailed it off to the winner. I didn't, like, hide it behind the door or anything. I mean, besides, look, how could you even get inside this thing? This thing is foolproof, right? Well, okay, that was pretty easy, but look, if you don't believe me, I'll show you. Right inside here. Oh! Alright, for all intents and purposes, that door should not be opened. For all intents and purposes. What does that even mean? For every functional purpose, in every practical sense, in every important respect, or practically speaking. Now, you were probably able to figure that out just based on the context without me needing to read the definition. But knowing the meaning of those words got me into trouble because I didn't actually know what the real words were. The first time I heard that phrase, I thought it was for all intensive porpoises. Like dolphins. Now I quickly realized that's ridiculous, but I didn't get very far because what I landed on what it must be was for all intents and porpoises. Still dolphins. It is really blue on the set today. I need to wear less blue. And I want a bagel. Here's the thing, it still made sense to me because context is everything. Speaking of context is everything, the Swindon Town Swooterloo Poopers won the Premier League today on a 0-0 draw. Woo! The way I reasoned it out in my mind was that for all intents and porpoises meant that for every reason or intent you could come up with, all the way to porpoises. Like if you'd gone from here to porpoises, you'd covered everything. And that made sense to me. I don't know. Until one day I realized that's ridiculous. There's no porpoises. It's intensive purposes. But I could still reason it out. It still made sense. For every important, intensive purpose, let's get this done. Finally, I heard it on TV, just enunciated properly, for all intents and purposes. That makes sense and sounds like exactly what it means. Duh. Personally, I think from here to porpoise was way better. I remember as I progressed through that every time I came to a new realization that I was really embarrassed that I used to think it was the other one. It's kind of like if you listen to a song by yourself in your car all the time and you don't know the words, so you just kind of fill it in with your own made up ones, but then when you're riding with your friends, you start singing it and you forget that you don't know the words, so you sing your made up ones. Whew, I don't know why, but that's embarrassing. It happened to me in 6th grade and it still makes me sweat to think about it. The song was All Star by Smash Mouth, which, let's face it, you know the words to. I thought the line was only shooting stars can break the gold, not only shooting stars can break the mold. Riding home from school one day, just went for it. Nope. Dude, it's break the mold, not break the gold. Why would it be gold? I don't know, maybe gold is really dense and only shooting stars can break it. Okay, but that still doesn't make sense. Like, what purpose is that serving the song then? I mean, I get it now! And as embarrassed as I felt by that, it actually is an enormous pet peeve of mine when people misquote movie quotes. And not just like the line wrong, but like the timing or the tone in which they say it. Here I am, trying to be a good fan of the movie, spread the joy, get the jokes out there, and people are getting it wrong. God help me if you misquote The Emperor's New Groove around me. I will not stand for it. But here's the thing, it doesn't matter. You can enjoy a movie just as well even if you don't remember word for word what the line was. Like I listen to a lot of comedians on CD and on Pandora. By the way, if you've never done comedy on Pandora, awesome idea. And I'll listen to the guys tell the jokes over and over and I get used to it a certain way. And then because of where I work, I actually see some of the comedians live. And they'll be on stage right in front of me telling the same joke and they'll tell it differently with a different tone of voice, with different timing, and everyone still laughs. And I'm looking around like, no, he told it wrong. But obviously he didn't tell it wrong. He's the one who wrote it. It's his joke. Everyone's still laughing. Why am I complaining? So Ben, my question for you and everybody else is, have you ever misquoted something that everyone else knew the line to, or just what are some of your pet peeves? Let me know down in the towel section below, and I will see you in another life, brother. Thanks for joining us here on Bagel Talk. Join us on Friday when we'll be discussing how to properly prepare and eat an everything bagel.